The reason we were looking to work with a management development or a management training company was really about our industry and what our industry is at fault for. Because we are a contract-based industry of 3 years, which is predominantly about managing people, companies tend to not invest in training because they're going to lose them potentially in 3 years. They're not people that are going to hold on for 3 years, or for longer than 3 years. It was an area where A, we saw a weakness in the people that we were bringing into our business, and B, we saw it as a real differentiator for our company within this industry. When we went to the market to look for a management development team, I don't like to call it training, to be honest, because I think it's a bit more than that. We were really looking for people who thought the way that we thought. And to be honest, there was a lot of people that came to us and wanted to offer us packages off the shelf. There was the other side then, people who wanted to try and tell us that they were FM experts and that they wanted to train our people to be better, facilities managers. I wasn't looking for that. What I was looking for was a non-industry but bespoke training model for our managers. Most of them have had little or no training in management before, so we're starting from quite a base. Some have had quite high level training, and we really needed to make sure that the little time that we had to do this, we really made it count. So when we spoke to Simon and to Positive Change, we realised that they had the same culture, the same ethos, the same values that we do, and that's more to do with doing rather than teaching. Along with Positive Change, we developed a bespoke set of training modules for our senior and sort of middle ranking contract management teams. And really it was based around not only being better managers and the techniques that go along and help you to be that, but also making sure that they are with people all the way through the journey. And again, I think that was something that Positive Change really endorsed and said would strengthen the whole program. So we designed with them a module that was based on 6 days, so it's broken up into 3 2-day modules, and we have a sort of a view of how we provide service to our customers based on 3 points in a triangle, which is the first one is understand, the second one is develop, and the third one is deliver. So we continually go around that circle or that triangle, whatever you want to call it, because once we've started to deliver, we have to then understand again and making sure that we're doing things correctly. So we worked on this understand, develop, deliver program, and that's what we ended up with. We ended up with the first module, which is understanding the client, understanding your team, and PCP could bring in quite a lot of techniques from the sales environment, okay, because that's about open questions and listening and interrogating and understanding. So that was perfect. So what the experience that they had within that area was very useful. The middle part of the program was then develop. So again, that's about creativity and open thinking, and the tools and techniques that you could use to work as an individual, to work with your team. And then the final one was deliver. So it was about performance management, managing confrontation, dealing with some of the harder things that you have to do as a manager, even things like presenting, which is not everybody's cup of tea. And certainly our teams who are operators at heart, they're not salespeople, they're operators. Standing up in front of a room of 15 people and presenting a PowerPoint presentation or a Prezi or whatever it might be is completely alien. So that was the model, and it's been very, very successful. We knew that 80% of each module was doing rather than telling, which was, so there's a lot of role play, a lot of exercises, a lot of discussion, which is more important to me than reading what to do off of a PowerPoint slide. It takes people out of their comfort zones a little bit. But what we did is, we as senior managers, we got actively involved. So we go and do the role plays as well. We go and do the presentations with them and try and do some of the sessions, and we go and we know what the content is. We know what the content of the training is. We know how it's delivered. We know what techniques they should be picking up because A, we've designed it with Positive Change. They've really delivered for us in how they implant that within our team. And then we've invested the time to go and see it being delivered as well. You know, all of the courses that we've run, either myself or my operations director have been to every one, except one, of the modules, at least for part or all of a day, just so we can show that we're committed to it as well. And that way we can sort of check up on Positive Change as well. So Simon and the team can, wow us with their delivery, and Baz with his jazzy hands can show us how he delivers it. And you get a confidence from that. That's really important because, again, I think a downside of training and development people is that they'll tell you that they're going to do one thing, you send your people off on a course, and then you get told then by your team that actually, they sat there a bit bored and it was a bit slow on day one. And whereas right from the off, the feedback that we got was, yes, it's hard, it's very engaging, definitely out of their comfort zone, but massively rewarding. So, and that's all we wanted really. And there's nothing better in my week, nothing better in my year than to see people enjoying a training course, because I used to, maybe I'm a little bit sad, but I used to love training courses when I was developing my career. And, that's one of the reasons we like to go, because we don't get as much training as we used to get, because we get to a certain position and it sort of slows down a little bit. So we're sort of using it as a refresher, really, more than anything else. As far as our original objectives and working with Positive Change, there's no question what we wanted to achieve from the programme has been achieved. So we started the first modules in 2013. We're now halfway through. We've just started the second set of modules in 2014. We're already planning who's going to be going on 2015. And the great thing is, those that are on the courses in 2013 are coming to us and saying, what can we do next? And it's not just necessarily just training. I think the vast majority want the training to be delivered by Positive Change. So that in itself is a success for all of us, Mostly for the people that have been trained, because if they've got some value out of it, if they've embedded it in what they do, and they then want more, then, we're definitely a beneficiary. And, by virtue of me telling you what a great team they are, Positive Change are as well. But ultimately, those people at the end of the line are the ones that are delivering what we want, are the real success. The results are subtle in some instances, and they come and smack you in the face in other instances. And they, some of our teams are using the terminology that was discussed within the modules and used within the modules, and others are applying it, don't necessarily discuss it, but you can see it, and you can see little changes. So whereas before, if I would say, can you do that? The answer, because of the position I've got, I suppose, is yes, Martin, of course I can do that. Whereas now, with me, just like they would with a client or with a member of staff or with anybody, any stakeholder, it's, well, yes, of course we can do that. Can I ask, why do you want that done? And could we do it this way? And what happens if that happens? So their scenario testing and their open questioning, which is one of the modules, is evident. These people who have never been salespeople or managers before are all of a sudden using very, very distinctive management techniques. And again, it's only subtle, and sometimes they don't even know they're doing it, but there is a definite change. And for me, that the money we spend on it, that delivers the value back to us. That's when you can say that money is value for money, because we're seeing a change. All too often, we see training money go with no real change. But without being corny about it, you can see a positive change. Positive change for me, the big difference is they're doers rather than talkers. And from a training perspective, that's what I wanted.